of Iraq and Afghanistan. It's a waste of time. It's so stupid. Why are we there? We need to rebuild our own country. And, you know, those are tweets where I read that and I go, I totally agree with that, Donald Trump, 100%. But then the other half the time, when he was on the campaign trail, he spoke about how, you know, we need to bomb ISIS to smithereens and we need to wipe them out. And those things are kind of contradictory. Either you bring your troops home and you know...
Didn't he think he would be able to fix everything really quickly? Wasn't that one of his premises?
That's typical Trump, you know, bloviating, like, I'm going to be tremendous, I'm going to be amazing, it's going to be the best job you've ever seen ever.
It's not a bad impression, but you got to change the tone.
Well, it's because I'm not doing the full hand.
You're doing good movement. The movement's
all
good.
I have is the movement, Joseph Rogan. Can I call you Joseph? Is all I have.
What did you think personally when you saw Kanye with that insane...
I was going to ask you about that, too.
...bipolar rant?
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for him. I do.
Yes.
And I want to be clear. I'm really not saying that as a partisan thing, because even if Bernie Sanders was president and Kanye West was in the office saying the exact same stuff, I'd still be like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Bernie
felt
would probably
the same way?
let him do it too, because remember when he let those Black Lives Matter chick take the mic?
I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That cost him, by the way.
He just stepped aside.
That really did cost him.
You think so?
Yes. Yeah. People, you can't do that. You can't just take the microphone away from someone. You know,
so here's an interesting question. Do you think this helped Donald Trump at all with black voters, having Kanye do that? But how much?
A good number.
Really?
Yeah,
you think so?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like there's Kanye West has been disinvited from a lot of cookouts now as a result of what he did with Trump.
Jamie's on Black Twitter. Jamie says not at all.
From what I read, it did not.
From what I read in Black Twitter, the response has been very negative.
So is Kanye's really almost, in a sense, blowing his own reputation on this, I guess?
I don't
is that
think
fair to
so.
say?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think everyone who's a fan of Kanye West, who's seen him blow up on Jimmy Kimmel and blow up on all these different people that have criticized him, he's obviously got mental health issues. When he went on that rant, I think it was in San Jose, he was at a concert, he said, I didn't vote, but if I did vote, he was, I would have voted on Trump.
Yep.
And everybody went, boo. And then he wound up going into a mental hospital after that.
Oh, wow.
Checked into a mental hospital and then canceled his tour. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was because he couldn't handle the criticism. It's part of it. And also part of it, he's legitimately mentally ill. I mean, look, he didn't marry that lady and be a part of that family because he's thinking straight. He's got some problems. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
You know, he's a genius in terms of music. He's fantastic at creating beats and songs and hooks. He knows what the fuck he's doing there, but he's got a problem, and you hear it when he rants. When he's ranting and when he's talking about Ford making dope cars, we don't use the word dope because we only use words like magnificent and make positive words. Like he's listening to himself and jerking off to the noises that are coming out of his own mouth.
I loved when he said to the reporter, when the reporter pushed back on him a little bit, he's like, "You just asked me a question. No, you can't do that because this is like tasting a fine wine. It's complex."
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was pretty funny. My read on him is that I think part of what he's doing is that he's a contrarian. And when you are in a place like Hollywood and you're there all the time and you're always surrounded by people who are anti-Trump, I think there's something about just this knee-jerk reactionary feeling of like, no, I'm not with you guys. I'm different, and I'm special as a result of being different. So I'm a contrarian, and I'm going to disagree with you. And then I also think there's narcissism in the sense that he looks at Trump, and he really sees himself in Trump, and that everybody laughed at Trump when he said, I'm going to run for president, I'm going to win. And if you remember, a few years ago, Kanye West said, I'm going to run for president, and everybody was laughing at him.
It wasn't even a few years ago.
It was recently?
Yeah, he and what the fuck's that guy's name? Piers Morgan.
Right.
Got into it on Twitter. Who said, you're talking to your future president.
That's what Kanye said? Oh, my God.
Yeah, or maybe it was Harvey Levin. He said it, too. You're talking to your future president.
I actually dislike Piers Morgan more than I dislike Kanye West.
Yeah, I'm with you on
that. So go
Kanye
on that one.
I think Kanye's ill. I really do. I know he's been medicated.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when he was all chubby? When he's on his medication, he got fat, and apparently he got off his medication.
And there are a lot of people, by the way, who would hear the point you made and would be really angry at the fact that you think that he's mentally ill. Even though I think that's a perfectly... I've seen it on my Twitter. I've seen it on my Twitter. People saying, oh, it's just a cheap, partisan, hacky point.
But no, it's not, because he's admittedly mentally ill. I mean, he
did say that in the thing. He said I was diagnosed bipolar.
Institutionalized.
Yeah.
He spent time in a mental hospital for
Mm-hmm.
being mentally ill. And when you listen to him rant, this is just my opinion, that is not the ravings of someone who's carefully considering the implications of each word they're saying and thinking about how to express themselves in a way that's going to portray some sort of a clear, cohesive message. He's not what he's doing. What he's doing is jerking off. He's just jerking off with his mouth. I'm not kidding. It's just like, yeah, let me get it out. This is a fine wine. You know, we're gonna make the dopest cars. Why can't Ford make the dopest cars? You know.
Did you hear what he said in that same thing? The reason why we got to help Larry Hoover is because in a different universe, there are alternate universes. I am him.
I don't think that's correct.
Lyrics to his song where he says...
Lyrics to his song, was it say?
He says that when he's off his Lexapro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
You ain't seen nothing crazier than this nigga when he off his Lexapro. Remember that time in Mexico? Remember that last time, the episode, asking me why the hell I texting code 4 times just to say don't text me, ho? Told you 4 times don't text me, ho. And we finna lose all self-control, but you ain't finna raising your voice at me, especially when we in the Giuseppe store.
Modern day Socrates.
He's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. But I love that nothing crazier than when he's off his Lexapro. Oh my God.
Yeah, I do kind of feel bad, even though this is such a like a sideshow type thing, because I mean the state of the country is so weird that simply because of his celebrity and the fact that the mainstream media doesn't know how to keep their eye on the ball, you never know who can become president. It could become somebody like Kanye.
I think